In this topic, let's take a look at project scoping and its associated tools. Project scoping includes identifying processes and project boundaries to ensure that a project can be completed in 3 to 4 months. Boundaries of a project often include the start or end point of a process, products covered, departments and staff levels, divisions, factories, geographies, and customer segments. Project scoping is one of the most important factors for success of a project. Most failed, incomplete, or delayed projects are due to poor scoping. So the best way to scope a project is to have an open-minded conversation with all stakeholders and involved parties of the project. Some of the most commonly used tools for project scoping includes Pareto diagram, which will be covered in more detail in the analyze phase. In-frame, out-frame diagram, which we will cover in more detail in this unit. Other tools that can be used for project scoping includes force field analysis, affinity diagrams, which is covered in the listening to customer unit, and SIPOC, which is covered in the process mapping tools unit. Let's now study the in-frame, out-frame diagram in more detail. As illustrated in the diagram, in-frame refers to aspects which are within the scope of the project. On-frame refers to aspects which are left to be decided. And out of the frame refers to aspects which are excluded from the scope of the project. Now that we know what goes into a project scope, let's look at the procedure to construct a project scope using in-frame, out-frame diagram. The first thing to do while constructing a project scope using in-frame, out-frame diagram is to draw a large square picture frame on a flip chart. Then, we list out activities pertaining to the process on sticky notes, one sticky note for each activity. Then, the team sorts sticky notes based on whether they fall within scope or outside scope. Now, some aspects that may not have clarity of scope up front are placed on the frame to be discussed later. Then spark a healthy debate amongst team members around what should be included or not included within the scope, and which on-frame aspects can be pushed into the frame or left out of the frame. Please take a look at a fully developed project scope example and move forward when you are done.